皆様お待たせいたしました。それでは
Thank you very much for waiting. Let us start the next session. 5G enhancement and 6G latest information and also outlook. Session 6, 6G strategy. And we'll be hearing about the latest status of the 5G equipment usage and also the different organizations' initiatives on 6G. And I would like to hand my microphone to Mr. Nakamura from NTT Docomo, who is the XGMF project leader. Thank you very much. My name is Nakamura. I'm from NTT Docomo. So at XGMF, I am the leader of the XGMF project, and that is why I'm here to serve as the facilitator for this session. So in this session, or actually XGMF is having this event from yesterday and today. And we are also working, because we have joint initiatives with the MIC, we would like to have a discussion about what we do at XGMF. And in the second half, we would like to have a panel discussion on about the funds available for this kind of effort, and also what we should do in the future. So, first, I would like to have the presentation, very brief presentation from myself about the 6G related initiatives at XGMF. So now, this is the agenda for today. Now, at XGMF, we have 20 projects running, and 5G related projects are included, and also 6G projects are included. And there are 6 projects specifically about 6G, and today, leaders and sub-leaders from these projects are with us to explain about their initiatives. I am the leader of the 6G promotion, technology promotion. And 6G promotion project main mission is the international collaboration and also coordination with the other 6G related projects. And also, depending on topic, sometimes there are some topics where we have to have efforts across projects. AI is one good example. Also, frequency or spectrum is also another example. And of course, monetization is also crossing across projects. And so today, I would like to talk about this Japan's 6G position paper in specific. So let me share with you. Well, first of all, now related to frequency, there is a small working group, the frequency working group, and from Ericsson Japan, Mr. Honda is leading this effort. So we would like to have Mr. Honda to explain about the activities of this frequency working group. Now, Mr. Honda is outside of Japan now, and so he is joining us online. So Mr. Honda, please.
Thank you, Nakamura-san, for the introduction. My name is Honda from Ericsson Japan. In the 6G promotion project, I am appointed as the leader of the frequency working group, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. I am in the middle of my business trip, so please allow me to speak online. In my frequency working group, it started its activities from this August, and today I would like to explain the progress of its activities. Here's the purpose of the frequency working group. Toward the 6G system, we are considering new requirements around frequency. There is a growing traffic, and there is expectation for new applications in the 6G system, which requires securing additional frequency. Also, as the 6G promotion project, we are putting together our opinions, recommendations regarding 6G frequency, and we are aiming to collaborate with other foreign bodies from other countries where frequency is an important challenge. Also, we are intending to submit our opinion to the MIC. Next slide, please. As specific activities of the Frequency Working Group, in around November, we are planning to publish our white paper. And that will be covering these topics. First is requirement of frequency related to 6G system, additional frequency, why that is needed, and if we are securing new frequency, which frequency band is the appropriate, what is the required bandwidth that is being observed today. And mobile frequency requires global harmonization. So we are analyzing the situation of consideration around 6G system frequency in other countries. Especially, we are focusing on 6.5 gigahertz band and 7 to 8 gigahertz band. Also, in these frequency bands, we have existing a radio system in Japan. So in the 6.5 and 7 to 8 gigahertz band, we are planning to investigate the current situation. And finally, in the white paper, we will be compiling our opinion as the 6G promotion project. Next slide, please. And this is going to be our opinion from the 6G promotion project. First of all, we need to secure new frequencies to introduce 6G system. That is because the mobile traffic is continuing to grow. According to the statistics of the MIC, the domestic mobile traffic is growing by 1.2 times every year. And in the 6G system, the so-called XR applications, AI-related applications are to be used, which will lead to further increase of traffic. And 4G and 5G are currently using frequency bands which may be transferred to another band. And for that purpose, we need to secure new frequency for 6G system. And in order to effectively build a service area, mid-band is said to be the most appropriate. Especially 6 to 8 gigahertz band is said to be the most appropriate as a mid-band frequency for 6G. This 6 to 8 gigahertz band is considered and drawing attention globally. WRC 23, many countries considered 6.5 gigahertz band, and the candidate IMT band is a 7 to 8 gigahertz band. And we believe securing frequencies from these bandwidths is critical. From September to October, the MIC's frequency reorganization plan session is being held. And we would like to submit, or we have submitted our opinion from the 6G promotion project as XGMF. That is it for our activities as Frequency Working Group for the sake of internal collaboration, and we would like to contribute to the smooth introduction of 6G system. Thank you, Honda-san. Globally speaking, frequency allocation is one of the critical topics. So if you are interested, please join the Frequency Working Group and XGMS. Thank you, Mr. Honda. So we are moving on to the next presentation. This is about the 6G position paper that I mentioned earlier. The sub-leader, Mr. Kashima, is going to explain from Ericsson Japan. My name is Kashima from Ericsson Japan. Thank you for having me here today. In XGMF, we have the 6G promotion project, and we are publishing a position paper this year. The details are available on the website of XGMF. But the purpose is, well, first of all, what is 6G aiming to achieve? 5G just started, but 6G excuse me, I am going back to the previous page. In overseas, when we discuss with international 6G organizations, there are many commonalities between the direction of Japan and other countries, but there are also gaps. So when we exchange opinions, we believed that we should have a clarified position as Japan, and the industry, government, academia collaboration, and a message to in and outside Japan also need to be clarified. In each project, discussions are going on, and as you can see on the left side, we are first looking at the future development that will contribute to the strengthening the capabilities of Japan and what are the social issues. And in order to solve these challenges, we have the right orange technology boxes. Frequency will become higher, and massive MIMO ability will be more advanced, and frequency centimeter wave and photonics APN like technology and a satellite technology, how these will create value. That is the mapping we are doing through discussions in each working group. And I'm not going to explain every single detail, but from this slide, I think you can see that each project is discussing the technologies and they are discussing what kind of customer values they will be able to create from each elemental technology. In each project, each project will be presenting after this. It will be different from what it says in the position paper, but they will be covering their activities respectively. And in publishing this position paper, of course, we have discussed the current challenges, especially in the communication industry. I have listed up these challenges on this one slide. But in the original position paper, there are multiple pages covering this topic. For example, in 5G millimeter wave penetration, standalone network just started, and it is becoming more available. But what can we do for a wider penetration? And in response, we have 6G related challenges. These are being discussed. So ARPU was mentioned in the previous session, but profitability is one of the important challenges. So business aspect is also incorporated in identifying these challenges. The position paper was issued in May this year. I hope we can move on to the next part. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kashima-san. Now, moving on to the next presentation, we have a sub-leader of the project for business and monetization for B5G and 6G. Yamamoto-san is to share the status of the discussion. Thank you very much for the introduction. This is really a challenging issue, and I'm feeling a very tremendous pressure in our endeavor. Now, this is the overview of what we are doing. So, in case of 5G, the telecom players or the whole industry is struggling with monetization. This is a global issue. At CITIC, yesterday and this morning, at this conference, the monetization issue has been discussed intensively. This May, we had discussion with 6G IA or NICT Alliance colleagues. We recognize that this issue is not a Japan-specific issue, but the global issue. And on this issue, we're not just watching the situation idly. We are to come up with a common understanding with regards to this issue as an industry so that we can come up with the countermeasures. So there will be three categories of countermeasures. One is the countermeasure to be taken by each company, and the second is to be taken by industry, and the third is those which require policy proposal from our side. And in the morning, Docomo's Nakamura-san said that we had much discussion about verticals when we were preparing for 5G. So there's no use of repeating the same thing. So not just having discussion, we hope to have a constructive discussion that lead to a concrete outcome. So we have 4 groups, infrastructure vendor group, device terminal group, and carrier group, and 4 user group. So we have those 4 groups, and each group is now working on deepening understanding of the issues and coming up with countermeasures. And there's no use just having a closed discussion within each group, and getting input from all of you is very important. And we have a small number of people participating in terminal and device group. So if you're interested, please do contact us. That concludes my presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Yamamoto-san. Now, from now on, we like to hear from each project, starting with Professor Otsuki as a leader of the project for a 6G wireless tech project. Thank you. I'm Otsuki. I'd like to give explanation about the 6G wireless technology project, which I'm leading. So these are the leaders. As sub-leaders, we have Seiyama-san from NTT Docomo, and also Kano-san from KDDI Research Institute. So, as the name of the project suggests, we work on wireless technology that need to be generated for 6G, and in terms also about the how we can work with the global players. And we are giving importance to a industry academia collaboration. So we're working on different items, and we produced white paper for one thing, and also we've been collectively collecting data so we can analyze them amongst the members. And there are some detailed examples of our activity, which I'm not going to go into detail for each one of them because of time interest. But what I like to draw your attention to is that we have 195 people registered to the project. What is particularly important is that we have 153 from businesses and 42 from universities. So I do believe that we have a good balance. And but if you are interested, please do participate in our activities. We welcome you. Now we have currently 8 working groups, including the one which just started. And each working group is working on the theme, the topic name of which suggests. One is device-to-device technology, wireless repeaters and passive reflector technology, radio wave propagation, device module antenna and implementation technology working group, advanced MIMO working group, wireless sensing working group, AI and digital twin utilization working group, and new working group of millimeter wave technology for mobile communication. What I like to emphasize today is the following. So as project, we just published a white paper titled Beyond 5G White Paper 6G Radio Technology Project version 1. This was published in May, and this we only have English version, but we also had a workshop touching upon this white paper. And this is what you can find on the webpage, so please do take a look. And new information. So we only had a English version of the white paper, but as shown here, on September 30th, we have published outline slides and a summary version of them for the white papers published by or prepared by each working group. And they are available on the website, and they have information such as about the latest trend overseas. So please do refer to them and utilize in your daily work. So, utilizing the remaining short time, I'd like to briefly touch upon the activities of each working group. Starting from terminal to terminal or device to device collaboration working group. Compared to what are being studied overseas, I would say this is a Japan-specific unique research topic. As shown here, for example, like in under sub-6, we, with the terahertz, we like to have a reception and the sending of the signals amongst the different terminals. The slide may be rather busy, but this slide and the following slides have the information about the work by each research institute. The left-hand side is the virtualized terminal technology, which is now being worked on by KDDI Research. There are wearable devices like a smart watch or smart glasses through or via them. Those devices work as a repeater equipment, and so they are to collaborate together to maintain the quality of uplink and downlink transmission. On the right-hand side, this is the field test linking different terminals to improve the uplink and the downlink quality. And there are also other issues being worked on by different research institutes, like about the security or how the collaboration can be done between the amongst the terminals. The universities mainly are working on those topics. So this is about wireless repeater and passive reflector technology working group. This is the area where research and development are being done actively, both in and outside of Japan. Repeaters and RIS are the terms which are commonly referred to for this area, and there are testing done on the field, and there are other examples as well. Fortunately, in Japan, there are many strong device or material manufacturers in Japan, and they also take part in this working group, working on different technologies, like a reflector technology, specific reflector technology, or repeater technologies. Now we also have radio wave propagation working group. So this is the area which we can see as a strength of Japan. I'd like to draw your attention to this chart, which may be rather busy and difficult to be understood, but we have a different environment, like from macro cell to NTN, with a different frequency, like 1 to 6 gigahertz to the different spectrum. Japanese companies and other research institutes are measuring the propagation, which is summarized on this slide. So the measurement is done for different spectrum bands or with a different settings, and which is rather unique. Those things are not really done in the same manner overseas. So I think we can say that this leads to Japan's strength. Now, advanced MIMO, also we have working group for that. MIMO also need to be more advanced, as was touched upon in the earlier presentation. And this shows the status of the study on advanced MIMO by leading Japanese research institutes or other organizations. So left-hand side are the station for the massive MIMO. As you can see, on the right-hand side, we have distributed MIMO station, and there are many research being done in Japan on the distributed MIMO. And this is once again rather unique situation in Japan. It's not really the case outside of Japan that there are much study being done on the distributed MIMO. In Japan, those collaboration aspect is emphasized because this is suitable to Japanese setting. That is my understanding. We also have a working group for wireless sensing based on the measurement or detection algorithm based on AI. We are making progress, and digital twin will be an essential technology, so there are many research institutions working on the topic as well. Lastly, I'd like to say that our project is active in organizing many events, and also we are participating in academic associations. We work with other external party in holding such event, and we're also working with a electric-related academic association in Japan, holding events and so that we can communicate Japan's technology to the external audience outside of Japan. As I touched upon earlier, we do have many working groups, so I'd like to encourage you to participate if you are interested. That concludes my explanation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So let's go to the next one, which is about the NTN promotion project, and we would like to have Mr. Tsuda.
Hello,
My name is Tsuda. I'm from SoftBank. And so we're at the NTN promotion project. Normally, the leader is Mr. Toshima. He often makes presentation, but because of his urgent matters, he couldn't attend it, so I would like to speak on his behalf. Now, NTN is the aerial network, and recently the advancement of technology is really amazing. And so now we're having more and more transfer into real-world environment. And of course, technology advancement does not always promise the take-up in the market. We have to think about the regulatory framework. We have to find ways to monetize it. So we have to solve all these things. Now, in this project, we bring together industrial members to try to seek the solutions for these issues and also share that solutions with the wider world. Now, visibility is quite high for this project, so we are able to take advantage of this high visibility to attract more participants, and I think it's really worthwhile to make the community itself. In terms of output, last year we have developed the NTN technology roadmap, for example, and also we sent out the information about the NTN use cases. And the important thing for us is to make sure that the information is easy to understand for those people who are not particularly familiar of the details of this technology. Now, this is a roadmap. And recently, when we say NTN, sometimes it can mean broadband. It could be direct communication with the smartphones. And also it could mean apps. So different types of technologies are advancing under the umbrella of NTN. So what kind of milestones will be there in coming 10 years? Based on the survey responses, we came up with this roadmap. And you see the names of the satellite operators, for example, what kind of technology or service will be launched in different operators are indicated here. Now, in terms of use cases, one of the examples is here. For NTN, what kind of use cases envisioned today is introduced by ourselves. We talk about the KPIs, we talk about the characteristics of the services. So far, 22 use cases have been listed, and when you look at them along with the roadmaps, for each use case, what pieces of technology will be used is visible. So if you are interested in this, you can find this information on the website of XGMF. And also, we also have opinion exchange forums with the potential users of the technology. When it comes to NTN, we see a lot of demand from the maritime industry because they want to take advantage of the signals from aerial satellite. And so we try to understand the pains they're feeling, and also we try to identify the bottlenecks. Now, for this project, supplier side and service side are many, and so we often hear from them what kind of technology is necessary. You see some of the users who have participated in this project from the user's side. And also, we have 3 workings going on. Because of the time limitation, I can't really explain each one of them in detail, but for example, now, how NTN can be integrated with TN. There's a team working on the TN and TN integrated network architecture. And also there's another working group working on the solution for maritime usage. And also another working group is working on HAPS, opinion exchange, because under the HAPS, we can actually talk with the competitors, but they are actually can be a collaborator under this field. So if you're interested, please let us know. Maybe you want to talk to the participating companies. Please let us know if you want to participate in our efforts. Thank you very much. Mr. Tsuda, thank you. And so next is 6G Network Architecture Project, and the leader is Mr. Isobe from NTT Docomo, please. Hi everyone, my name is Isobe from NTT Docomo. I'm the leader of 6G Network Architecture Project. The purpose of this project is to define the end-to-end network architecture that will support the 6G era use cases. Earlier, Otsuki-san talked about the radio technology, but here we are talking about the network side architecture. So it's not only in mobile network, but we also cover infrastructure like APN or DCI. Those underlying technologies will be used in the infrastructure. That is the kind of infrastructure we would like to study. And we would like to define the cloud-native network architecture based on such an infrastructure. We are seeing more and more standardization in this field, and we're trying to enhance Japan's presence and also Japan's collaborations internationally through this project. Now, in my presentation earlier, I shared this information with you. By 2029, we will probably see the standardization of 6G, at least in early stage. And now we are considering the underlying technologies. So in our project, we would like to exchange information among the participating companies. And here are some of the recent topics in our project. For example, it was a little bit mentioned earlier in the previous sessions. One is AI, of course, and also the other thing is what kind of 6G network architecture we would like to have. For example, first of all, coming back to AI, 6G is going to be AI native. So from the day one where 6G is launched, AI will be used to manage the network. That is assumption. And so if that happens, what aspect will use AI? So we have to think about the network performance enhancement or network operation automation. These probably will be the target of the use of AI. So we're talking about them. And also, what kind of network would allow the AI to exhibit its capabilities to the fullest extent? That's something we talk about. And also we talk about the architecture that will fuse or converge network and compute. And so we are getting a lot of input from different participating companies to discuss these matters. And also, the other one is the expectations and requirements of the mobile network in the time of 6G. In the morning, we heard from India and Europe about their efforts in 6G. In 5G, there were so many migration options, and it was really complicated. And so we want to, and we also heard, and we often hear from Japanese people also that they want to see reduced number of the options for migrations. And also probably in the early days of 6G, people will be using 4G, 5G, and 6G in a mixed environment. So how do you migrate to 6G in such a mixed environment? That's another thing. And also the other thing is, what will be the architecture when the network will become AI native? So these also are some of the important topics. Also, one of the hot topics these days, of course, is agentic AI. So we discuss how agentic AI can be used in network or specifically core network. This is something already talked about in standardization efforts. So we also took how and which aspect of the network will use such a technology. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Isobe-san. Next speaker is from the terahertz wave wireless technology project, the leader, Dr. Iwao Hosako. Thank you for the introduction. I'm the leader of terahertz wave wireless technology project. My name is Hosako from NICT. In this project, well, I think the positioning is becoming kind of ambiguous. Well, when we decided to develop 6G, we were assuming that terahertz will be used for 6G since milliwave is used for 5G. In overseas, in India, for example, there was a great momentum in beginning the discussion. But since we started 5G, we found out that there is no really momentum in the penetration of milliwave. So as you can see at the top right, this is an important topic that may be used in the future, but in 6G, it is positioned as day 2 technology. The reason is the propagation property is making it difficult to be available on day 1. And we are now more focusing on how we can effectively utilize terahertz. We decided to discuss the topics around the blue circle, and in addition to myself, we have 3 sub-leaders. In this year, well, we will also be discussing about materials, so we decided to hold a discussion on materials-related topic, so we invited COCN and NIDO project members. Discussion held last year is summarized on this page. In order to clarify requirements for terahertz wireless, we discussed expected use cases and the value to be realized by using high frequency. First use case is making the high-speed wired interface wireless. We could use this for wireless data centers or mobile backhaul and fronthaul. There are challenges in wiring management, which is enormous amount in data centers. So by using wireless technology, we believe that we can enjoy certain benefits. And the second use case is experiencing and sharing super broadband and low latency contents. In the milliwave project, this was also discussed, and we share the keyword of oshikatsu or fan activities, and we are expecting that such use case will emerge going forward. So together with the milliwave project, we will be promoting discussions. And among the use case, we are also discussing sensing and imaging, which is high space resolution. That has been one of the topics for discussion. And this is for this year. Based on the outcome of last year's discussion, we are going to be doing a deep dive investigation. And as I said earlier, in data centers, we can better utilize terahertz band in medium to small sized data centers. And we are conducting interviews to find out the effectiveness. The second key focus is related to mobile use case, mobile fronthaul, backhaul. We will be setting this as a priority item, especially in the urban area. There is an issue of scarce optical fiber where we may be able to use wireless technology to supplement. In a short range of up to 100 meters, We shall decide specific specifications and set a targeted performance that is scalable. And the third is developing concrete policy recommendation. So we need to clarify how we can utilize the features. And in the US, there is FCC Innovation Zone. So I've put here radio wave special zone that we hope to introduce in Japan for the purpose of compressing the lead time for R&D. We are compiling everyone's opinion so that we can put together a report. That's it from me. Thank you. Dr. Hosako, thank you very much. Yesterday, there was a millimeter wave session as Japan, as operators. We confirmed that there is a momentum for milliwave. So maybe that is upcoming for sub-terahertz. Thank you very much. And the final presentation is on time-space synchronization project, Dr. Ido from NICT. This is Ido from NICT. Thank you for inviting me as a leader of the time-space synchronization project. Maybe you're not familiar with this technology. This is synchronizing time and space. And this is going to be a foundational technology to support the mobile communication from 6G and beyond. In Japan, we're facing an aging society and shortage of labor. So we are advanced, so to speak, in this area. In transportation, construction, or nursing care service sectors, I believe we are especially facing these challenges. And from 5G, there has been a lot of expectation for solving these issues. In terms of 5G, sensors, actuators, we still need human intervention to make decision in between sensors and actuators. But in 6G, what we are expecting to realize is for machines to make decisions. And ideally, decisions shall be made with low latency by edge computing closer to the site. But that said, we're still halfway through. Humans still need to do translation between sensing and actuator. The information of time and place need to be captured on real-time basis, and multiple elements need to capture the accurate time and space place information for it to make decisions in autonomous manner. Time and place, as we know from GPS, this is based on a clock technology. To realize this idea, as clock technology, we have these prerequisites, such as decently high-performance pendulum at the level of small atomic clock, and we need to be able to measure adjacent clock difference, and we need to generate highly reliable and disaster-resistant shared clock. This is a virtual clock. This can be a virtual clock. It doesn't have to be real-time. These are the prerequisites for realizing this technology. In NICT, we're working with companies to work on these three technologies, as I introduced earlier. Atomic clock chip, YY, and cluster clock. Collaboration started from around 5 years ago. And in this XGMF project, since last year, we have been closely engaging with companies especially from the communication sector. So atomic clock chip, as chip, we will offer an affordable small atomic clock, and YY is a wireless two-way interferometry. If necessary, synchronization can be done in nanoseconds. And a cluster clock, we create a virtual shared clock. Maybe it's difficult for you to familiarize yourselves with these technologies, but they're exhibited at the NICT booth. So I hope you can visit the booth tomorrow or the day after. So I covered the details of the time-space synchronization project. As you can see here, I am the project leader. And as sub-leaders, we have the members of NICT, and also since we have atomic clock, from the clock component sector, we have Mr. Nomura from Murata Corporation, and from NTT, I mentioned the three technologies. But in terms of time synchronization, we have a secret weapon of optical clock, and NTT member is joining as a sub-leader to cover that area. That is our intention. That's it from my side. We currently have members from 10 companies related to frequency and time. So if you're interested, please let me know. Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Ido.
So we heard the presentations about the projects. As you could understand, we have covered many key important projects. If you are a XGMF member but not part of the projects, please do participate in the project activities. And also, if you are not XGMF member, the fee is 150,000 yen. I encourage you to join XGMF and join the project. Now, next topic. This is about the current status of the innovative ICT beyond 5G and 6G fund project. And the Hagimoto-san and Otsuka-san from the NICT are to give explanation. Thank you very much for the introduction. I am Hagimoto. I'm a program director for Innovative R&D Promotion Program. And I'd like to first extend my appreciation for your understanding and support of the fund program. Thank you very much. Now, first of all, I'd like to give an entire picture of our effort about Beyond 5G. But I have my colleague who is working at the Open Innovation Promotion Headquarters of NICT, Ms. Otsuka. She was actually at the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communication. And it appears that she is the only female speaker today, but I'd like to hand over to Ms. Otsuka, my colleague. I am Otsuka from NICT. I'd like to give explanation about the policy background of the fund and what are being done. So this is about the Beyond 5G. And in the previous presentations, the detail of the Beyond 5G related activities were explained. So you are already familiar with many of this information, but I'd like to give the overview. So this is the ideal Beyond 5G network as presented in the advisory panels to the government's report. This is the network architecture for the Beyond 5G network. Conventionally, with 5G, only the non-backbone line was handled, but with this, we are to also cover the backbone network. Like an NTN or network is also included as an essential element in addition to the all photonics network. And on the right-hand side, there are points made in the report or proposal from the advisory panel, and those points here are introduced as what Japan is good at. And by focusing on those activities, we'll be able to lead the world as Japan. Now about the overview of the fund program. For the 2022 to 2020, till 2022, we've been promoting the research and development to develop the elemental technology for beyond 5G at early stage. But then we now prepared a new framework for the support to focus on the all photonics network and the NTN and the virtualized network, so we can focus on the strength of Japan. Next, this is the scheme for the fund project. Under the ministry, we have a budget being secured and utilizing the fund. We, as NICT, is allocating fund for the researching organization and others. In promoting this program, we are intending to maximize the outcome, and to that end, we have advisors for the intellectual property and standardization, and also we are working closely with the researchers within NICT to maximize the outcome. And also, we are giving importance to the horizontal collaboration amongst the different functions of the NICT or other research areas. In addition, Mr. Hagimoto is overseeing the entire project so that the synergy can be enjoyed. And I would like to now hand back to the Hagimoto-san. Once again, I'm Hagimoto, and you once again have a male speaker. So standardization or IP, from those aspects and a wide range of the aspects, we're supporting your research project. And from the compared to the past, we are giving a rich support compared to before, and we're not going to intend to micromanage, so please do consider taking part. And as was explained by Ms. Otsuka, well, 2030 is a target year, but it's really near future. And we are to focus on social implementation with intention to enhance competitiveness of Japan. So that's the project number one. But at the same time, in order to see a sustainable development, we also need to continuously work on elemental technology. So, including the effective use of radio waves, we have program 2 and program 3. And also we have a program to support the international standardization activities. So those are the 4 programs under the fund project. As you can see in the red box, in response to the proposal from the government advisory panel, we are focusing on strength of Japan, but at the same time, application is also important. So we have also given importance to the applications. In terms of the latter half of our project duration, other than this fund project of the NICT, we have SBIR, which is a program to support ventures. That is the program run by the ministry and NEDO. And PRONAS is another program. And I or other officers at the NICT is also supporting this project. And So there is a intra-agency effort being done to provide a all-out support. So from the research to commercialization, there are the Devil River and the Valley of Death and such. There are many challenges that are need to be overcome. And earlier, there were a presentation from different perspective or user perspective from NTN, or NTN, but the different perspective give a different insights. Or the research is to be understood by users. To make that happen, we also need to have a user perspective. So, like this forum, we hope that this sort of forum can be leveraged so that the people from different position can gain opportunity to understand the perspective from different players. From your viewpoints, you gain different insights. So I hope that you will have an opportunity to have different perspectives. I myself have been involved in the optic communication. So that contributed like a 6-digit expansion of the capacity. But for the social implementation of the technology, it takes about 6 to 7 years. So first we'll have a initial data, and then there need to be efforts to reduce costs and such before the commercialization. But it takes time for some game-changing technology to be implemented. So this happens also at the optic amplifier technology. And I'll skip the technology topic today. In an all-Japan manner, the all-optic network research is being done with different participants. The objective of the network is to transmit the mobile network to the data center. And mobile antenna, when the millimeter wave is to be used, then we need to have much more antennas to have the coverage. So between the antennas, fibers are intended to be used for a wide range coverage. When it comes to data center, in addition to implementing optic technologies, like water cooling or other cooling technology need to be deployed in massive manner. And solicitation is that we are having a power generating facility next to data centers. So there are many things running at the same time. So from the different perspectives, we like to have a multiple technologies being deployed so that all this can be connected to business. In 2008, as the MIC project, the digital coherent technology endeavor started. Before then, each company was working on a chip development, but as the silicon industry has grown much, we are now in the station where a code development leads to a lower cost. And then for the application side, each company had different applications, but the joint development was done. Although we had initially problems, but with the understanding that we are to work together to compete globally, digital coherent technology development was done. And now we are at the 1 nanoscale semiconductor development situation. While we have been expecting the saturation to happen, but we are continuing our efforts, including the tri-party collaboration. And during the process, the young people researchers' idea has been incorporated in that research and development endeavor, and because the ideas of the researchers are reflecting in commercialization, those researchers are eager to take part, and I'm really happy that we are having this kind of a forum. Now, in terms of the international deployment, first we need to understand what the international players are doing, and so to that end, it is really important that we have a forum for candid conversation with the international players, and also we need to have a good understanding about the timing when technology are to commercialize. Because if our product come too late, we will miss the opportunity. So not just about the standardization timetable, we also need to complete our product development in line with the timeline for the commercialization overseas. And to that end, it is really important that we have opportunity to have a candid conversation with the international player. And so we are also supporting the international project involving EU and such as part of a major mission. And as a part of the NTN discussion, we had a conversation with regards to hubs. And the timing is such that we are to be expecting the major implementation. And I think promoting this all-out effort is part of the role of this forum. So this is what is still being tested. And we're hoping that the intended service is to be able to commercialize as early as possible. So we now see the bear encounters. In a similar manner that we like to avoid the cockroach, we want to contribute to the saving people from the encounter with the bears. And I hope that our technology can be used. And the Ministry of the International Affairs and Communication Award was just announced. And the Sharp was awarded, and this is the outcome of our funds. So please do visit their booth at CITEC. So when our effort lead to the awarding of such award, that is quite encouraging, and I think that this kind of the outcome leads to the earlier social implementation. Lastly, about community formation. We often have a workshop of the concerned researchers who have shared interest. And so those were my explanation about what we've been doing and current status. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Hagimoto-san and Otsuka-san.
So now, this will be the last part of the discussion for the 5G, 6G special days over 2 days. So we would like to have all the panelists on the stage. Professor Nakao from Tokyo University, NICT, Professor Dr. Tokuda, and also from MIC, Mr. Nakamura, and also Otsuka-san, and also Matsui-san, Otsuki-san, and Kashima-san, please. So we have a little less than 30 minutes left. So we would like to go have a panel discussion right away. Now, this will be the last part of the discussion over 2 days. And so we would like to talk about international collaboration, which is very important. And also, nowadays, we're hearing even beyond 6G. So first of all, Mr. Matsui from MIC, if you could give us a short presentation. Thank you very much. So my name is Matsui from MIC. And so today, would like to talk about our initiatives at international collaboration very briefly. So this is the Beyond 5G promotion strategy at MIC. So in June 2020, we issued Beyond 5G strategy promotion strategy. And also in 2022, in June, we had the intermediate report from the Information Council. And now, among the academy, government, industry, we are determined to push forward the Beyond 5G. At the time of the 5G introduction, we started to work on Beyond 5G so that we can even promote the tripartite collaboration in Japan, so that we will build the position more strongly in the international world. And so in June 2022, in terms of the promotion strategy of the Beyond 5G, this probably was a first in the world. And I remember Finland was talking about Beyond 5G at the time when I was working in Washington at the time. So I talked with the Finland representatives, and Finland was actually the only country which was talking about Beyond 5G. Other country was really focusing on 5G. And so at the time, next year, Alliance people and other more advanced thinking, people, we worked with them to share our visions with. And it was really, I was really grateful that I could have an informed discussion. And then, based on that, we built a roadmap for tripartite, the government, academia, industry collaboration. It's very important. And as it was mentioned earlier, based on this report from the Information Council, we established a fund, and we have been promoting our efforts in Japan on selected topics. And last year in 2024, a new strategy for the realization of next generation information foundation was issued. And at MIC, we created fund to sustain long-term efforts in this area. And also, we issued last year the strategy to support the next-gen information foundation. And at that time, here's a vision, Society 5.0. This is the social vision we have had for many years. And so we do have a very clear vision, and that is that was very helpful for us to come up with the strategy, like what kind of digital twins we want to have, what kind of framework of the regulatory is necessary. These things have been shared with the stakeholders. And this is the idea shared in the strategy issued last year. And also we talk about in that strategy the future society vision of 2030s. So at MIC, we are committed to concert people's effort toward this vision. Because of the time limitation, I do hope that you will look at the details in our website. And we, of course, would like to realize the strengthening of our competitiveness through collaboration internationally, because it is necessary for us to look at the global market. And also, we have to understand what will be the society for the entire world. And so here, of course, it is very important to focus not only the research and development, but also to the transfer to the society and also the standardizations. And so we need to share the visions and trends and other information globally. And because of this, we will be able to realize the actual transfer of technology to the real world environment. And this context is really where we can have a very strong important strengths. And you see at the bottom, there's a square that includes some of the areas that we should focus on because we do have a potential. And now in Japan, we have high technologies, and yet in terms of the market share, we're not necessarily the strongest. And in a global market, this is something we need to change. We have to really pay attention to this fact, because if we could implement and roll out the technology that we have in Japan, we can aim higher. And already different countries are working on the beyond 5G, 6G. So we first have to understand where the countries are placing effort in and what kind of vision they have, so that. But actually, thanks to the strategy that we have issued last year, I think we have a quite advanced vision, and also the digital infrastructure which has the AI built in. We also are able to work on our vision thanks to this strategy. And having this beyond 5G strategy, we have been able to do the 10-country common shared statement, and we are able to share our vision. And what's important is openness and also interoperability and also safe and trusted network creation. These are the important areas, we believe. After this, there will be a panel discussion, so I would like to summarize my presentation here. Oh, Otsuka-san, you wanted me to discuss a little bit more about the research, but I think I should stop now here. So based on this as one of the inputs, let's jump in the discussion. So here is the list of the questions. I have prepared 2 questions. First is about international collaborations. Regarding 6G international integration, collaboration, what is your thought? Already Mr. Matsui expressed some stance from NICT, but outside of that, I'm sure you have different perspectives. So on the right side, you see the details of the questions. More specifically, which country or which region should we work with? Then, of course, there was some implications on the economic security. So maybe there's some areas that is too sensitive that you cannot really share your personal opinions, but as much as you can you hear your opinions? And also your thoughts on the international collaboration in terms of the industry, government, academia collaboration. And also 5G had international collaboration. So what will be the difference between the international collaboration for 5G and 6G? And also there was a mentioning about the Japanese strengths. So what do you think personally are the strengths that Japan should appeal to the world market? Because of the time limitation, I don't think we can hear all those points from everybody, but maybe we can start with you, Mr. Matsui. You said, so you did the presentation, so I'm asking you once again, but are there any issues that you left out, like economic strategy? Yes, in terms of the economic strategy, this is very important these days. In other words, supply chain securing is important. And when you want to introduce a network in Japan, maybe you don't have necessary resources. And so openness and also vendor diversification is something that we share as important point internationally. And also with these things ensured, I think every country can introduce the network that they want. And working with different countries, the visions and networking ideas can be shared between 2 friendly countries. That is a subject of the partnership. And also maybe 2 countries sharing potential to help each other in terms of technology. That's another example of the candidate. And also in the international research and development, EU, Germany, and US, we started to work with them. And also we are talking with UK, for example. So these are some of the areas or the countries that we are working on to build a partnership.
Thank you very much. So I would like to ask the 2 of you from NICT. It's really up to you how to answer the question. Yes, then from my side, I would like to talk about the international joint research that is conducted at the fund. Basically, together with MIC, we are promoting and launching this international joint research project. And we need to strategically choose the partner, the counterpart in this research. In the governmental interaction, there are some things that that start to be promoted naturally, and in such case, we serve as a funding agency. In information communication area project, something called the Vines project was initiated, and there's going to be a joint research conducted. This is going to start next year. We're in the preparation phase now. With which country, in which area should we conduct a joint research? I think that is the important point of view. Thank you very much. How about you, Tokuda-san? So Otsuka-san just talked about it from the funding agency perspective, but I'd like to talk from the perspective of human development. New technologies are still developed by humans. It's not possible to develop new technologies from generative AI. So we need to have an ecosystem for human development, and together with the like-minded countries, we should promote these initiatives. So from R&D to POC to testbed, living lab to commercialization, countries that have this one-stop process in countries like France, Germany, they have national projects covering this area, and they share the same direction from us. They are trying to build an infrastructure to contribute to the society. So if these countries can work together, we'll be able to maximize the benefits of both sides. And in countries with sophisticated end users, we should do an extensive research. And in countries without such technologies, they face different social challenges. But when we go to countries where there are sophisticated end users, I believe there is more potential for Japanese technologies to be used widely. And Japan wants to develop young researchers, and if there is a like-minded country, I think it would also create a good harmony. Thank you for your precious input. How about you, Professor Nakao? The three speakers already covered my points, but if I were to say something different, I am engaged in international collaboration. What is different from 5G? As the era or the generation advance, maybe it's thanks to Gen AI, but the speed becomes much faster. Everything is about time performance. Everything is expedited. So country-to-country international collaboration versus company-to-company, university-to-university, and ultimately there will be collaboration between individuals. And when that happens, information needs to be collected on real-time basis. Until a few years ago, communication and AI were believed to be integrated, but much ahead in the future. But when I was listening to the panel discussion today, it sounded like it's already happening. That is actually demonstrating the fact that such acceleration is in place. And individual level collaboration is going to be the key here, so that we can capture and share information. With all countries, we should collaborate, and also from the economic security perspective, we should work with every country, and maybe we can only form a joint research project with the like-minded countries, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't have to collect information from other countries. There are countries with difficult geopolitical relationships, but still we should know what is happening there. And that needs to be taken into account in the standardization project. So human-to-human collaboration, information sharing will also be critical. My impression is information is everything. we have to collect information and consider where Japan should align. Thank you. I wasn't planning to ask this to Dr. Otsuki, but you just returned from Geneva, I believe, and I hear that you were involved in something related to development of students. So yes, I wasn't expecting this. Yes, talent development. There is a PhD school that was held in Geneva. I came back this morning. There are various measures, and it's important them to be promoted and facilitated. But just like Dr. Nakao, I am in a position to promote international collaboration. And we do have collaboration with non-Western countries. And in many cases, it's at individual levels. And it's not really related to 5G, but triggered by the pandemic, the distance has shortened. That means we have seen advancements in online technology, making collaborations easier, including Vines. We would like to ask NICT to continue serving as a funding agency. Thank you for answering this unexpected question. Now let me move on to the second question. We have less than 10 minutes left. So beyond 6G is the next question. Before 7G, this is referring to the day 2 of 6G, maybe after 2035. I would like to ask your thoughts on this, especially what are the functions and services to be introduced after 2035? And also, I'd like to hear your outlook about 7G, space communication, quantum technology, holographics. There will be many more. I'd like to start from Kashima-san from Ericsson, Japan. What's your take on this? So it says 7G, but there is no official statement from Ericsson related to 7G. But when we think about 6G and beyond 6G, I believe there are three aspects. One is standardization, second is the ideal environment, and third is technological aspect. And in terms of standardization, it is much ahead in the future. We should focus on standardizing what is necessary at that certain time. In that regard, 6G Day 1 technology has been discussed very actively, and then it will be followed by discussions on Day 2 and 3, release 22, 23. In terms of such technological classification, the first release will cover features that are effective for the majority, and optimization for verticals. It will be included in the previous release. And in longer term, well, I believe this is a long-term question. So when we think about the environment in longer term, as my colleague presented earlier, there's a discussion around 6G frequency. And when we think about beyond 6G, will we have any frequency left? Data traffic will grow, but how are we going to develop a mobile network? That is very foundational. So that is related to technology development. And Japan is an aging society. And there are countries that are not aging at all. The environment around the world is rapidly changing. A global scale mobile network has been effective always in the past, but when we think about this change, what kind of technologies do we need to develop? I believe these things will become more important in longer term. And finally, AI continues to be important. It continues to evolve. And sensing technology in the world of 6G, sensing technology will continue to evolve. It will not be complete as of day one. And the quantum technology, this cannot be ignored. For example, even in day one, when we think about quantum computing, post-quantum cryptography may need to be incorporated from the beginning. Such awareness needs to be there, and also optical photonics technology will become more crucial.
Thank you very much for that. NICT is working on many things, so maybe I should ask this to Dr. Tokuda. At NICT, currently, we have 4 strategic areas beyond 5G, 6G, AI, and quantum ICT, cybersecurity. So they are the 4 strategic areas. And for the 1G, day 1 of the 7G, we believe that the QKD network will be included. So quantum safe network is something that is not to be possible with the 5G or the following. The Singapore, the carrier, is working on the quantum safe, but considering geopolitical situation, if we are to provide a security, then there should be a intercontinental key distribution enabling technology to be needed. In May, working with IOWN, there was a test conducted on the quantum key distribution. But those technologies are expected to be widely spread. So I believe that the security-related technology would be built in. Professor Otsuki, you are leading a wireless technology project, but what's your view about future technology? Yes, other than what Tokuda Sensei mentioned, well, today we talked about NTN. What we are thinking about the future technology, like space-air integrated network, is what we are discussing at this moment. More highly integrated network is what we have in our mind. Like data center in space is being discussed, but to enable them, we need to have an even higher integrated network. So that is what need to be considered. And our project, there's not much research being done about semantic, but I am personally interested in that. So idea exists from like 70 years ago. Accurating transmitting bit is of course important, but the contents themselves need to be transported, and task-oriented communication or the communication that would achieve the accurate transformation of the contents is to be needed. Going beyond the better compression, we need to see a more intelligent service, and that's where I'm paying attention to. And AI is continuing to evolve, and that we are to see more AI native. But then, in addition to that, personalized AI is to be a key topic going forward. So there will be a further personalization of AI. Then, what is to be needed going forward is even higher integration, because as people move around, the AI function needs to follow them. So higher integration is needed from that as well. Thank you very much. We almost ran out of the time. In 30 seconds, can we gain the another comment? In 40 seconds. At the all university, well, Matsui-san said that the all is to spearhead the 6G endeavor. And I think the audience are wondering, are we ready to think about 7G? But what we are saying is that resilience is important. It is to do with national security or natural disasters. But we're now discussing the value rather than technology. So we are now giving consideration starting from the value. So we're now discussing technology to achieve the value. So this is a really difficult topic, but at beyond 6G, how can we achieve this, the value? Like we want to have a robust communication line that can serve as lifeline. But how can this be realized from different perspectives, including economic security? But what I think is that what we want cannot be achieved at beyond 6G, but 7G is needed for that. Well, thank you very much. It is time, so we'd like to close the panel discussion, and thank you very much for all the speakers and the panelists. Nakamura-san and the panelists, thank you very much, and please give a huge round of applause to the speakers and the panelists.
それではご講談くださいませ。最後に
Lastly,
一般社団法人
I'd like to invite
電波産業界理事
the Executive Director
西岡誠二様より閉会を
Nishioka Seiji from the Association of Radio Industries and Businesses for his closing remarks. Executive Director Nishioka.
皆様、2日間にわたる 5G、6G スペシャルデー
Well, thank you very much for participating in the two-day event of the special days for 5G and 6G. I am Executive Director Nishioka at the ARIB. So at this event, we discussed 5G and 6G and even beyond in terms of their strategy. And also we covered AI, local 5G and the millimeter wave implementation. And we heard a lot of passionate comments from the speakers, and there were a discussion from a wide range of areas. I'd like to express my appreciation to the speakers and also the audience. It's my hope that this seminar is to contribute to the further development of the technology and also for the further collaboration internationally. And I'd like to ask for your continued help for 5G and 6G into the future. And this is my closing remark. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nishioka-san, for your closing remarks.
以上をもちましてプログラムはすべて終了いた
With
しました。
this, we conclude the older program. Thank you very much to the speakers and all those contributed to the holding of the event.